Hello, everyone. Welcome to Social Media Content Made Easy. What to say online and how to say it. This class is a high level overview of the steps to creating a content plan. It's a zoom out, if you will, of the simple steps to getting your social media done. This may be all you need to get organized and moving. I sure hope so. But if you need more details on any one of these key steps, we have more specific detailed classes in the Learning Locker. This is actually a workshop that we've been teaching from stage to give the audience a simplified roadmap of creating content. And we've gotten such great reviews from it that we decided it would be a helpful review for our community as well. Okay, so let's dive into what you're going to learn today. You're going to have some clarity on your social media objectives. You're going to find steps to creating a content strategy. We're going to talk about some simple video creation tips and how to batch strategy to get more content done in less time. Okay, we're going to cover a lot of information. This class is going to be kind of fast, but again, a lot of you who've taken a lot of our detailed classes, you're going to appreciate this view to kind of come out a little bit, see the forest for the trees, and to understand that your whole content plan, your whole getting it done plan really is as simple as these steps. So let's move forward. Let's start with this question that we get asked all the time. What social media platforms should I be on? Well, I know you're probably going to not like this answer, but you know what's coming. It depends on your business and your brand and your desired audience, because all of these platforms serve a purpose. And we do have a workbook called the Engagement Equation, your guide to platforms and people. Okay, you can download that at Next Chapter Social for a deep dive into this topic. Just go to nextchaptersocial.com and look for the pop-up for the Engagement Equation workbook. It's free and you can download it there. But for the sake of this class, we're going to focus on Instagram as our primary platform because we believe that everyone needs to be on Instagram. You can cross-post the content to Facebook, and it's also a good one to learn on and then be able to use that same content on other platforms as well. We think it's kind of the universal hub of platforms, okay? It's the base denominator for almost all businesses, but maybe you'll find a combination of LinkedIn and Instagram, or TikTok and Instagram, or just Facebook and Instagram. Whichever one works for you based on what you learn in that engagement equation workbook would be a good idea. But let's focus on Instagram. Okay, this is where it's going to get simple and fun, so get ready. It's 3 steps to creating better content more efficiently. Number 1, we're going to create a content strategy. Number 2, we're going to plan that content. And number 3, we're going to create the content and batch what you can. And then we're going to have a little 4th bonus step at the end. So hang on with us. All right, let's dive into content strategy. The first step to creating videos and content for your social media is to first understand what you want to talk about. What is your purpose for being on social media? Are you an individual brand looking to build a business by attracting new clients through your social media? If you're the brand, if you're the only employee, if you will, and you're an individual entrepreneur, you are a personal brand. Your audience is buying you and what you do. So it's very important if you are a personal brand to show a balance of personal, passion, work, and value. Your personal bucket is going to be approximately 30% of your content. And when we say personal bucket, this is where you're going to show a little bit about yourself, but it doesn't have to be super personal if you don't want to, share your deep, dark secrets, or we're not going to get into religion or politics or anything like that in your personal bucket. This is more for you to show your personality. What do you love? Are you a pet parent? Are you a parent of, can you draw from stories of your children with lessons they're teaching you? Can you share some fun things that you're really in? If you have a big love for peanut butter, well, maybe you're always talking about how you're always searching for the next great peanut butter snack or something like that. So it can be just something that people learn to like, know, and trust you because they see a little bit of who you are. Okay. Your passion bucket, I should probably go to the next slide because it'll explain this a little bit better. Let's go here and then we'll come back to business. So the passion bucket, your passion map that we're going to talk about here, your passions help you make connections on something that isn't related to your business. So your passion could be, whether if you are a big traveler or you really love golf or you really love, you're a fan of a football team, or you are a huge whiskey aficionado or something like that. Okay. So what is something where your audience can relate to you, or you can find new audiences through a passion bucket? This is going to be about 20% of your content. Okay. Your work. This is what you do and who you do it for. You need to talk about what you do. You need to tell people how they can work with you, why they should work with you, who you serve. That's going to be about 20% of your content as well. And then the value map. What does this mean? What is a value bucket? And these maps I'm jumping a little ahead here, but the value bucket is where you share authority, value, influence, and expertise. So whatever your business is, you want to create some value for your audience. You want to think about this bucket as explaining content where people are saying, what's in it for me? Why do they want to follow you? Well, I hope you're educating them, inspiring them, giving them some education. That is what is included in that value bucket, which will be a value map. We're going to jump back here real quick to talk about a business brand. A business brand is where you're creating social media for a business that isn't just you. It's separate from one individual. So this, again, for a content strategy for a business brand, it's going to look a little different. You're going to have 3 buckets: work, value, and people. The work is about 30% of what your business does. Any differentiators that you need to be sharing. Brooklyn and I, with Next Chapter Social, we are a business brand. We have individual personal brands as well, but our Next Chapter Social is a work bucket. So you can see how it's the 2 of us. It's business that is separate from us as individuals. So we have a work bucket, and that is 30% of our content should be about work, what our business does, any differentiators that we have. The people is about 20% of your content. And this is going to be the personality behind the brand. It's, in our case, it's the 2 of us. We love to share how just funny things about the 2 of us working together as partners, how we're so different and how we complement each other, because we think people really relate to those stories. We also tell stories about people that we serve. So that is more of our people bucket. And then in a business brand, value is 50%, because if you're going to be a business brand that's going to have any kind of following, you better be delivering great content that's actually teaching someone, educating, inspiring, or entertaining content. Okay, so that value, what's in it for me? Always be thinking with that lens. Again, here, just with the work map, there's a little bit more information, because we're going to take those buckets and we're going to turn these into mind maps to help you identify what you want to talk about. What we are really not diving into in this class is talking about identifying your ideal client avatar. It's actually really important, because when you're creating that value content, you need to know who you're speaking to, what they are, what they're experiencing right now. People buy for 2 reasons. They're either moving away from pain, maybe that's not even physical pain, but just away from pain, or towards pleasure. So you want to be very, very clear on who that person is and what their pain and pleasure is, so that you can create content that speaks directly to them, that will keep them engaged and inspired from your content. Okay, so let me kind of show you what this looks like. The next steps: you take your buckets, you identify your buckets, and then we're going to do mind maps for each one of these buckets. I'm actually just going to show you an example, 2 examples, just to give you an idea, because we're going to move right on into planning your content. But this is the mind map for a personal brand. I've taken a realtor And I've taken her, she's a personal brand, and I've taken her work bucket. So remember, this is about 20% of her content. It's what she does and who she does it for, her differentiators. So let me just kind of show you how this example sort of plays out. Okay. So if you ask yourself the who, what, where, when, how, why, those are great questions to kind of help you start your mind map. So who does she serve? She serves home buyers who are looking for more acreage or country living. Okay, so then you can draw some details out here, but I'm just going to follow this one map here. Homeowners who plan to have some farm animals. So I'm kind of getting a little bit more detail. Okay, so then the next level out is horse trails in the area, because if they're looking to have some farm animals, maybe they want to have some horses too. So maybe she wants to talk about horse trails in the area. This in pink is the layer of where your content posts actually come from. Let's go back here to homeowners who plan to have some farm animals. Maybe a bucket out of that, a little, what we're calling kind of getting to the tiny topics. In your mind map, your next level out is the support in the community for livestock. And maybe there are some great feed stores in the area, or an association. So these are the things that in pink where your post content would actually come from. Okay, so out here you can see you start brainstorming, you get a layer, and it's really not until you get to that 3 or 4 layers out where you actually create your post strategy. Okay, but when you do this and you do buckets for all of these and you get bigger and bigger and bigger, you will see that you have a lot of pink boxes out on the end, and that is where you're going to want to create your content. And again, you do not have to, if you came up with a 90-day content strategy, which is what you'd have if you did this for each one of your buckets, you would have at least 90 days worth of content. Does that mean you have to go do this again and figure out a whole new ideas for your next 90 days? No, it doesn't, because you actually want to just start repeating yourself, but in creative ways. So maybe if you do a video about something, next time you could do a carousel about that same exact topic. Okay. You want to repeat yourself often, over and over, in fact, because then Instagram knows who you are and they know how to deliver your content when they know exactly who you're talking to. And your clients, your audience knows what to expect from your account when you are talking about the same thing over and over. In fact, think about this. If you want to be an authority about something, you need to talk about it a lot, right? So we actually don't want to get too far out there and have too many topics. You want to stay kind of focused and keep repeating yourself about the same thing. But the idea on this is just to start big and keep making it smaller so you can get to those tiny topics, which is where your gold mine of content strategy is. Here's another quick example. This is a business brand. This is for a value bucket. This is for one of our clients right now. Actually, it's called the Drip Bar. It's IV Therapy, a brick and mortar building. Okay, it's a franchise, and this is kind of one of the mind maps that I did for the Drip Bar. So you can see, let me get over here. So it's one of the primary legs of this is specific benefits for specific audiences. So I wanted to share how we kind of target overtired moms. We also help cancer patients. There's plenty more. This is just an example. But let's say I get to overtired moms. Well, we could talk very specifically about the time machine drips and how it helps with energy and aging. The time machine drips helps you get better quality sleep. So that could be 2 separate posts targeting the overtired mom, who really is our ICA, our ideal client avatar for the Drip Bar. But again, you need to do your whole worksheet on that. And that is specific benefit of the Drip Bar value bucket. So if you were an overtired mom and you saw a post about how a time machine drip would help you with energy and aging or getting better quality sleep, you'd pay attention, right? So that is where you create content out here that she would be interested in. So again, using that value bucket of that lens of what's in it for me. Okay. Okay, so once you've kind of done your buckets and your mind maps for all of your content, and I do not skip that step because I promise you, there are ahas. This is something that Brooklyn and I still use. If we have a new product or something new that comes up, we are doing mind maps for it. We do them all the time because it really does help you creatively flow. So don't think that you've got it all figured out and you don't need to do it. You do. But once you've done that, you go to plan your content. This is step 2. The first step in planning your content is get your calendar. Okay. You could do this with a paper calendar that you print off of, the internet, or you can use a fancy scheduler or a Google Sheet, whatever you want to do. But you want to plan out your content posts. Where you start with is date specific events that you need to be promoting or highlighting. So if you are a brick and mortar business and you've got an event coming up, or you want to talk about a special, those things that have a date specific issue, you want to write them on the calendar and plan out content leading up to that. You also want to plan in your calendar weekly repeated content. So if you have like a tip Tuesday or a Friday find, then you want to schedule that in as well. And so every Tuesday post, you know what you're going to be talking about. And then from there, you fill in additional days with content from your tiny topics list, from the mind maps that you will. You may also want to search national calendar days for like official days that might be relevant to your audience or brand, like International Women's Day, or, maybe you want to do something around National Pancake Day, something like that. So whatever, that if you can think of an entertaining or educational post about something that's a national day, that's always kind of fun too. So take a look at that when you're planning out your calendar. Pro tips: post at least 3 times a week. Because I know that was the next question that you had in your head. Like, well, how many posts do I need to have a week? At least 3 times a week. Okay. Whether you're a personal brand or a business brand, you need to have some volume out there. But you also really need to be consistent. Don't plan to say, I'm going to post 5 days a week and do 5 days a week for 3 weeks and then take the next 2 weeks off. Like, don't do that. Okay. Instagram doesn't like that. None of the platforms do. They want to see consistency over quantity. And again, master 1 to 2 platforms first. So if you need to start with Instagram first, start with Instagram. And a lot of it can be cross-posted to Facebook too. So you're kind of covering 2 with one shot there. But before you try to tackle on LinkedIn and TikTok as well, just master 1 at a time. Okay, as you're creating your calendar, you're also going to create your click list. You can do this all at once or post by post, but let me talk to you about what a click list is. This is where it gets really fun. When you have this post ideas, so let's say you're going through your calendar and you're like, okay, I've got this event coming up on, let's just randomly pick a date. It's April 28th. Well, I want to promote this event all month of April. So I want to go ahead and schedule in several posts about the April event. Great. So then you've got to think about, okay, I know what days I want to talk about the event that's coming up. What kind of content do I want to create for each event? Do I want to do a carousel? Do I want to do a graphic? We always encourage you to think about your EIEIO. So create an entertainment, an inspirational, an educational, an informative, and an offer post for that one campaign. So if you schedule 5 about the event, 5 posts about the event, think about how you can create the variation like that: educational, inspiring, entertaining, informative, and offer. Okay. And then what do you want to do for that? So do you want to do a face to camera video for one of them? Do you want to do a graphic for one of them? Do you want to do some B-roll with text on it? This is where you start sort of, for each post, you create your to-do list or your vision for that message. Maybe you want to go ahead and write out the caption, but then think about, how do I want to deliver this post topic? Let's say you're going to do a tip Tuesday. Okay. What do you want your Tips Tuesday to look like? Do you want to do a face to camera video every week for Tip Tuesday in front of the same background? Do you want it to show some consistency for that? Or do you want to be demoing something for Tip Tuesday? Do you want to show people how to create a healthy kids lunchable package? Something that with healthy stuff. So are you going to show them are you always going to be showing some recipes? Are you creating something in the kitchen if you're a nutritionist or something like that? What do you want to create for each one of these posts? This will actually take you the longest, okay? But we call this your click list. It's your to-do list for your content. This will also help you remember what you need to capture from an event. So let's say we talked about, let's say you have this event coming up on April 28th. Let's say it's a golf tournament fundraiser and you're talking about it. Your call to action is sign up. Well, you also want to schedule a post for the day after event to do a lovely recap of the event, right? So you want to have a click list of things that you're going to capture during the event. You want to have people registering, carts driving off, people on the first tee, the scoreboard being written out. You want to show people having a drink at the end when they're celebrating being done and watching the winners be revealed. And then, anything that you want to see, a little ball rolling towards you. You want to see some people's swings, like capture all the little things that are going to make a great recap video at the end. That's how, if you have a click list, you won't miss that important B-roll that's really going to make a beautiful video at the end. Okay. Your click list also allows you to capture several posts at once. So let's think about this whole Tip Tuesday thing. Let's say you just want to do a whole series on Tuesdays about if you're maybe a mortgage lender and you want to talk about people, how they prepare before they buy their next home. What do they need to be looking for? So every Tuesday, you're going to talk about a different subject. Well, maybe you want to film all of those at the same time, a minute, and then you have all 4 done at once. Well, this is a really smart strategy and exactly what a click list is for. Okay, it'll also allow you to, as you're thinking through this, maybe let's go back to the drip bar example. I need these clips with my team. I need this with a customer. I need B-roll walking in. I need these face-to-camera video clips. So let me go ahead and get bullet points of the things that I need to record, and I can record them when I get to the studio. Okay. This is just you're going to have such freedom in this list because you're going to be able to click, you get it all done. And then when you go to sit down and actually create and batch your content, you're going to be able to do so because you have all the clips with you. Now, I've mentioned a lot about video in this segment because assuming that you're going to do quite a bit of video for your content. So let's go on to the next section, which is number 3, create your content and use more video. You might have just rolled your eyes a little bit because if you can believe it, video is the number 1 objection we get from our students who are watching these classes. They're just a little bit nervous about video. We get it, but I'm going to teach you a few things today that will empower you. Again, the whole point of this is social media content made easy. So I'm going to share with you some easy tips. I'm not going to get into complicated editing or complicated strategy. I'm going to show you some easy tips that will make video more accessible and simple and fast so that you can have your content strategy, which you're going to do once, right? You're only going to sit down and kind of do that once. But then every month you're going to create your calendar and kind of plan out your click list. And then number 3, you're going to go create that content with more video. Okay. But let's be honest. Okay. In the current landscape of our social media, we're a video first world. Instagram, TikTok, and even LinkedIn wants more video. So we're just going to remove all that fear from it because you can't hide behind images and captions anymore. It's just ineffective. But we're going to simplify it today with a few actionable tips that you can take home and put into practice immediately. All right. Your 5 most common types of video. Okay. We're going to talk about all 5 of these today. Talk to camera video. We call it face to camera. Text overlay with B-roll. a slideshow of images and video clips, voiceover B-roll, and trending audio. Now, I'm going to talk about all 5 of these, but I want you to walk away and say, I'm going to master a couple of these first. You can always come back to this and learn some more, but honestly, just start with a couple.
Here. I'm going to swing this around my body.
Start small.
And then I'm going to swing it through. Do the same thing.
Here's my best advice.
Here.
Start
I'm going to swing this around my body.
And
then I'm going to swing it
talk
through.
to camera video.
Do the same thing.
Start small.
When you
Here.
talk to camera, there
I'm
is
gonna swing
an
this around my
instant
body.
transfer.
And then I'm going to swing it through.
Start small.
Do the same thing.
Human
Here.
connection.
I'm going to swing this around my body.
Start small.
And then I'm going to swing it through.
It helps your audience
Do the same thing.
This is one of
Here.
the ones.
Start small.
I'm going to swing this around my body.
Master.
And then I'm going to swing
You're
it
going
through.
to record it on your
Do the
phone
same thing.
first in your
Small with the
camera
Here.
plan
app.
to be.
I'm going to swing this around my body.
To your platform.
And then I'm going to swing it
That way
through.
you can use it on
Small with the
Instagram
Do the
same
and
thing.
TikTok if you want to.
Here.
But Instagram is
I'm
only
gonna swing this
90
around my
seconds
body.
max for real.
And then I'm going to swing it
It's
through.
much longer. You can do up to
Do
10
the same
minutes.
thing.
But
Here.
Instagram is
Start
90
small.
seconds.
I'm going to
so
swing this
you
around my
wanna
body.
keep these short and
And then I'm going to
sweet.
swing it through.
And
Do the
Start
same thing.
small
I
with the
suggest you
plan
use
to
visual
be.
breaks.
I'm going to swing this around my body.
Stitched together.
And then I'm going to swing it
Start
through.
small with the
Easily
plan
do.
Do
to
the same
be.
thing.
Inside the Instagram
Here.
app.
Best advice.
I'm going to
And
swing
all
this
those
around my
sections.
body.
So I'm going to share with you
And
just
then I'm
a
going to swing it
couple.
through. Do the same thing.
Start
Here.
small with the
I'm going
plan
to swing
to
this around
be.
my body.
Stopped it. I can't.
And then I'm going to swing it
Forward,
through.
so I apologize.
Do the same
small
thing.
That's
with the
okay.
plan to
I
Here.
wanted you to see.
I'm going to swing
this
this
is
around my
an-
body.
This one is a
Start
golfer.
And then I'm going to swing it
small
through.
with the plan
And
to
he's
be.
giving
the same
an
thing.
instructor.
Here's my
Here.
best
And so
advice.
he
gonna
is
swing this around my
showing
body.
the swing. He actually
then I'm gonna
has a
swing it
little
through.
mic on, so his
Do the
camera
same
is
thing.
set up over here
Start
on the
Here.
ground.
small with the plan
So
I'm going to
you
swing
can
this around my
hear
body.
him,
Here's
even
my
And then I'm
though
going to
the
swing it
camera
through.
isn't really
Start
close to
small.
him.
Do the same
That
thing.
is a true talk to camera
Here.
video. And
I'm
then
gonna
this
swing
is
this
me
around my
just
body.
holding
Start
my
small.
video.
And then I'm going to swing it
You
through.
can see that my
Do the same thing.
captions are
Here's my
turned
best
Here.
on
advice.
here.
Start
I'm going to swing this
small
around my body.
How you turn on the captions. This is a question we get all the time. So you import your video into your Instagram Reels. Okay, click next, and then select the little sticker icon at the very top. And sticker, choose the sticker that says captions. Once your captions are generated, you can select your style and color of the text, and you can modify where it is on the screen just by moving it around and pinching it and making it smaller. Again, talk to camera videos are best for building a brand, personal brand. Great for instructors or pros telling a story or a tip. So I highly recommend it. Before I roll into this next video, it's going to be about B-roll, and it may play first, and then I'll talk about it. Okay. See some B-roll in action here. So what is B-roll actually? Well, B-roll is it's what we call, it's background roll. The term for it is a B-roll, and it's just background roll. So what you need to know about this is it's very, very easy. It's good for all brands. You can stitch together several background rolls, and then you can put text on screen in Instagram with using, again, back to that little text icon at the top that says capital A, lowercase a. That's where you add text on your screen. But you want to do it over some kind of B-roll background. You want to just be capturing B-roll all the time of your life, of your work. So one of these is of the drip bar, and one of these is my daughter playing golf. And again, this would be great for lots of different things. You could put text over the screen, you could put audio with it, and now you have a reel. Or you could stitch together several B-rolls, you could do a voiceover, all those things. But the point is, get lots of B-roll. And I'm going to show you in this next one an example of how use B-roll. Golf instructors capturing B-roll of things that are happening in his lesson studio. Okay, so there's a personal place. If you are an entrepreneur, it doesn't have to be a brick and mortar location like this one. It could be you sitting at your computer, typing away, or on a call. It could be you making coffee or going for a walk. Here's some examples of B-roll library that you want to save. Behind the scenes, stay on the live, simple tasks. Working at your computer, working with clients, touring homes, or whatever you do daily. Driving your car, that's a great one.
push the plus button here and select Reel. Go across the top to Templates, and it's going to give you some options here. It's going to show you some different options for trending, things you've saved. I'm actually just going to, sure, let's select this one here. This one here has quite a few clips, so I'm going to go down here to add media and go to my photo album. I'm going to go to an album here. I'm going to choose some from our recent trip to New York. So in no particular order, I'm just going to choose some great pictures here, and you'll see that it's filling up across the bottom. Okay. Yours will be a little bit more intentional. This is a little random for me. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so I've hit the limit. So now I'm going to go to next, and you'll see that it's generating the reel. And you also see that there's a little text on this one because some of the templates do come with that. So when you go to next, you just take this part and you drag it to the trash. Okay, now you'll see that you have a reel via template. You can add text here by adding it there, test. If you wanted to add your own text, you can see that there. And now you're ready to post. Push the plus button here and select.
Okay, so the templates is an Instagram feature that has come up in the last several months, and it is such a shortcut.
Show you some different options.
You can
for
use these
trending,
to
things you've
put together
saved.
your B-roll mixed with images. So
Sure,
when
let's
you
select
select a
this one
template, you can
This
see
one
across
here
the bottom how
has
many options
quite a
you
few clips,
have
so
in
I'm
that
going
one.
to
And let's say
go
you
down here
have
to add media
about
and go
8
to
or
my
9
photo
pictures
album.
that you really want to use,
Go
but
to
the
an
template
album
you've chosen
here.
only has 4. We'll go back and choose a different one.
And choose
Or
some from our
you
recent
can
trip
start
to New York.
manually and create your own,
So,
but this
in
template
no
is such a
particular
shortcut.
order,
Again,
I'm
social
just
media
gonna
content made easy.
choose some great
So I'm trying to
pictures
help you
here,
identify
and
this
you'll see that it's
super
filling
quick
up across the
shortcut.
bottom.
This is great for recapping an event
This
or
will be a
adding
little bit
some
more
B-roll.
intentional.
But you
This is a
also
little
get
random
to
for me.
use,
Okay.
because it has automatically attached this template, the trending audio, which is going to help your
Okay,
reel
so I've
get
hit the
more
limit.
views.
So now I'm going to go to
So
next.
look for one
and you'll
that,
see that
at the
it's
across the bottom
generating
has about how many
the reel. And you also see that there's a little text on this one because some of the
that
templates
you
do come
want
with that.
to use,
So when you go to
and
next,
then let it do the work
you just
for you.
take
Again,
this
you
part
can
and
add
drag
text
it to
on
the
top
trash.
if you want to. You can add a
Okay,
voiceover
now
just
you'll
like
see
I did to
that you
create
have
this
a
little video. I
Reel
added a
via
voiceover
template.
to it.
You can add
which we'll
text
talk about in
here
a second.
by adding it there, test.
That is how you use the template. As soon as you go to Reels,
If you wanted to add your own text,
you'll see across the top the option to review the template. So play
you're
with
ready
that
to
as
post.
soon as you get off of
Push the
this
plus
video.
button
Okay.
here and select
Now let's
Reel.
talk about voiceover. Again, I'll let this
Across
play
the
and I'll
top
talk
to-
about it.
Mom made the entrance of our home look 10 times better. First, we cleaned up the whole floor to make sure there's no leaves or dirt on the ground. Then we used this wood finish to put in the door so it looks a lot shinier and it helps it protect against the elements. Then we went back inside to get the new decorations that my mom had bought. She got a new mat and a new wreath. Then we put all the old stuff back with the plants. And my mom was so happy that she even tried to kiss me at the end. Mom made the entrance of our home look 10 times better. First, we cleaned up the whole floor to make sure there's no leaves or dirt on the ground. Then we used this wood finish to put in the door so it looks a lot shinier and it helps it protect against the elements. Then we went back inside to get the new decorations that my mom had bought. She got a new mat and a new wreath. Then we put all the old stuff back with the plants. And my mom was so happy that she even tried to kiss me at the end. Mom made the entrance of our home look 10 times better. First, we cleaned up the whole floor to make sure there's no leaves or dirt on the ground. Then we used this wood finish to put in the door so it looks a lot shinier and it helps it protect against the elements. Then we went back inside to get the new decorations that my mom had bought. She got a new mat and a new wreath. Then we put all the old stuff back with the plants. And my mom was so happy that she even tried to kiss me at the end. Mom made the entrance of our home look 10 times.
Now, okay. Once you put your video into Instagram, the very first thing you're going to do is go to this little button right here where the music notes are. Okay. When you go into that music screen, you'll see across the top you have the option for voiceover. Okay, you go to your voice, you select that, and then it'll actually give you a countdown timer 3, 2, 1, and then you're going to record. And it will move along the screen as your video is rolling and you're talking to it. So you know that it's coming up when you want to wrap it up, okay? And then if you don't like it, you can discard it and start over, but you can just talk over the whole video. And then you can go back to the little music note. And here you'll see that it also has music here. So if you wanted to add a trending audio, and again, if you look for the little tiny arrow, okay, by the sound or the song there, then you can add a trending audio. And then you can go back to the music notes and see this controls right here in the top where it says controls. This is where you can control the volume. So you can turn down your camera audio because he probably had background noise, right, when he was recording that. So you can turn down your camera audio. You can turn up your voiceover so it's the loudest, and then you can turn down the music to like a level 4 or 5. So it's truly just in the background. And that is how you create that voiceover feature. It's very, very simple.
Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that.
Okay.
Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Well, I won't be doing that.
I'm going to talk to you about this one. I kind of started playing before I had a chance to, but I will replay it
well, I
here
won't
in
be
just a
doing
second
that.
so you can see it again. But this is how you create reels from a trending audio. We love to call them voice dubs. But what you really need to know is they're super easy. They really are. They're great for increasing exposure. They have
well,
high
I won't be
entertainment
doing
value,
that.
and they're great for sharing one simple topic.
Well, I won't
So
be doing
I
that.
wanted to find one. I literally found one in
well, I
about
won't be
4 or
doing
5
that.
minutes from scrolling
well, I
reels.
won't be doing that.
I heard somebody else do something similar. You'll see at the beginning of this video.
Well, I won't be doing
You'll
that.
see the girl who I took the audio from her reel because it was so great. And then I used that audio. So I found it on hers. I was watching hers and she was using this, the little
well, I
Schitt's
won't
Creek
be
voice,
doing
from
that.
David. And I wanted it. So I clicked on the little button
well, I
at
won't
the
be doing
bottom, and
that.
you'll see that when we go back through it. That has
well, I
the
won't
audio.
be doing that.
And then I clicked use
well, I
audio.
won't be doing
and then
that.
it wants me to record that same thing.
Okay.
So when you go,
well, I
when
won't
it's
be
in your
doing that.
recording mode, okay, all I did was select slow it down so that it would go really, really slow so that when I'm listening and doing the voice dub, I know what they're saying. It's a lot easier for me
well,
than going
I
really
won't be
fast.
doing
Okay.
that.
And then I'll show you what it looks like at the end. I'll just kind
well, I
of
won't be
keep
doing
playing
that.
through. So let me just go here so it will roll again and you'll see what I'm talking about in this one.
Well, I won't be doing that.
See right here is where the thing is,
Okay.
the audio.
well, I won't be doing that.
Select it. Now it opens it for me to record. See at the very top where it has a number, you actually choose 2 times the rate of speed. So it's actually slowing it down.
Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Well, I won't be doing that.
So, and it plays you for a few times so you can hear it over and over, but obviously it would
well, I
just
won't be
use
doing
the
that.
one time through. But that is so simple, you guys. And I just literally did that on the couch. Made this one in 5 minutes. I could have added text on the screen that said something like, when we tell our students to hop on and go live. And,
well, I
and
won't
their
be
response
doing
is, I won't
that.
be doing that. Right? So
well,
that's
I won't
kind
be
of the
doing that.
entertainment value. One tiny topic.
Well, I won't be doing that.
Again, let me just
well, I won't be
walk this
doing
through
that.
with you real quick. When you see a trending audio that you like from someone else, in
well, I
your
won't be
reels,
doing that.
you go to the very bottom of the screen where the little rolling audio is. You click on that. You can either save it for later right then, or you can use it right then. If you hit use audio, it's going to immediately open up your
well, I
camera,
won't be
record,
doing that.
and then it's going to play the audio
well, I won't be doing that.
you can voice dub it.
Well, I won't be
If
doing
you
that.
slow it down,
well, I won't be doing
it's
that.
kind of intuitive. You want to think at half speed, but half speed makes it go fast.
well,
If you
I
go
won't
to
be doing
2
that.
times speed, it will make it go slow. And then it's very slow and you can easily record it. But then when it plays it, it sounds like normal speed. Do y'all want to see it one more time? I'll do it real quick so you can see it one more time. Walk through the steps.
Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Well, I won't be doing that. Okay. Well, I won't be doing that. Well, I won't be doing that.
Okay. You think you got it? I hope
Well, I
so.
won't be doing that.
Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. But I want to talk to you about scheduling because this is kind of your bonus step. Okay, so we've done the 1, 2, 3. Bonus step is your scheduling. You can schedule your content for Instagram and for Facebook inside the Meta Business Suite scheduler. The one thing that, or you can use like a third-party app, like we use Loomly, but you can try Later, Plan, Hootsuite, there's so many. You can do any of that. Those cost money. The Meta Business Suite is free, and it does kind of favor things that are done inside the Meta app. So I encourage you to use the Meta Business Planner if you want to schedule your content. The main thing is if you do schedule your content, remember that your social media strategy is not a set it and forget it thing. You need to be online, especially on the days when you are going to post something or the schedule is going to post something. You want to make sure that you're watching for comments, that you're engaging with people. That's really, really important. Remember that being social on social media is part of the gig. You can't just set it and forget it. Please don't forget that. Otherwise, your engagement will really fall flat. So to recap the steps of creating better content more efficiently and making this easy is create a content strategy, plan your content, and then create your content with videos, and then schedule your content. That's your bonus step. Okay, that's option. You can save them to draft and schedule them later. I encourage you to go back and rewatch the video steps again if you need to. And then if you need help with any more of these, so in the Learning Locker, we do have classes on Reels. We have classes on finding your ideal your ideal customer avatar. We have Reels on doing the mind mapping. So if you want to deep dive into any one of those topics, go take that class and you'll feel like a pro. Okay, thanks for watching.